everyone. My name is Mimi Okana, and today on the podcast, we will be talking about the rose that grows from concrete. And today, I have my sister, one of the most beautiful people I have met, and she is the first person I thought about when I sat in my house, and I was thinking about individuality, otherness, and really just growth process. And I said, who best to call? And then, ladies and gentlemen, I called my friend and my sister. Of course, she introduced herself for you guys. Hello.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mummy Chubi.
Yes, and she is one of the most phenomenal people when it comes to growth, when it comes to building. And I like really to invite people to my show that embodies the conversation. And yes, she definitely embodies the conversation. But quick one, give me your hand. How do you feel about my show today?
I feel good. So excited to be here.
Okay. Do you have like expectation? What was the first thing that you had in your mind when I invited you to the show?
Okay. I feel like entertaining, motivating, and educating the audience.
Right.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about, you already know now, I told you before coming here that we're talking about building and individuality and everything in between. And really the reason why I thought about us talking about that is because you are such a definition of building. It's not the building and people start from
Foundation.
It's building that is vulnerable, building that is building
from
the scratch building. Yes, that's the word. And I just said, because I saw your video on social media and I'm like, wait, what? I was very inspired. I was like, yes, this is the person I would like to have a conversation with.
Thank
right?
you.
Yeah. And I just really want to ask you this. What was the first thing you said to yourself when you decided to go into content creation as a job?
Okay. Before I started content, there were so many things. Okay, especially when it has to do with my facial expression, the way I speak, and especially with my teeth. So I had these issues with what's it called? I was lacking the confidence. There was a time I was fighting with inferiority complex.
Oh wow!
Majorly because of the way I speak. Some persons will say you scatter teeth. You understand, bully and the rest.
Yeah.
So for me, I was scared at first going into content creation because I couldn't handle it. But I got to a point where I said, no matter how bad this is, I have come to stay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, so confidence is also part of what we're talking about today because I feel like that is lacking so much, especially especially on social media.
Yeah.
Because when you go on social media, everything looks prim and proper.
True.
Looks like nobody has problems. It looks like
Yeah.
everything is okay and Nigeria is fine. But for you don't just show like the juicy parts of your life. You show us from the scratch.
Basically everything.
Everything. We see
Yeah.
everything. So what was your motivation really to, documenting your growth process? I think that's the word, documenting your growth process. And before you answer, right, I think that in this era and time, especially on social media, right, one thing we tend to put out there are things that are finished work. So sometimes for young people, we always feel the pressure of if we are doing enough, you go online and are thinking, this person is 25, just like me. Am I doing enough like this and all of that? How did I not get to you and you showed your own and say, see, I'm not, there yet, but I'm working towards that place?
Okay, I didn't really had much when I started, okay, but I feel like documenting your process actually goes a long way to telling other persons who might be going through that same thing that there's actually hope, that no matter how they come through, they just have an expected end that this too will pass. Okay, so despite the ups and downs, the struggles and everything, these are like the side people don't show.
Yes.
You get eating food that is not well balanced, taking public transport, climbing hills, you get.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to show that part that beyond the camera, you get, people go through a lot.
Yes.
Some person sets their camera just to put out that smile out there. They are not genuinely happy just because they want the public to see this side of them. You get?
Yeah.
So when people are depressed, they don't see someone who is motivating them out there, because everybody tends to smile on the camera
Yeah.
and make everything look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
So for
should
me,
process.
yeah, I show the process.
Yeah, and I think that is one unique thing about, you know, you as a person, the kind of job you do. And but let's go back to confidence, because I mean, we are girls. Let's not even lie. That is one of the
Yeah.
that is one thing that no matter how big you are, you just get to struggle with, right?
Yeah, true.
Now, I just want to ask you, if you could go back to yourself, like 8 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, years ago, what is one thing you know about confidence now that you would tell yourself back then?
Okay. What I know about confidence that I will tell myself back, or like I'll tell my younger self,
yeah.
is just do you. Forget about what people have to say. Because what kills confidence actually is you saying what will people think, trying to what's it called, digest what people will say about you instead of doing what you love.
Yeah.
You get? There were times where I would want to do something, but I feel like, will I be accepted by people? Will people love these things? Will it not be weird in the presence of people? But I got to a point where I said, let me do me.
Yeah.
Okay. I felt like this, like for me, it makes me feel better, and it makes me show people the reality of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to say these things to my friend and to everyone who cares to listen, that for one of the most important aspects of growing and building is for you not to care about being cringe.
Yeah, exactly.
Because one thing you're saying, we don't like it. Is this cringe?
Yeah.
How would I see it and all of that? Really don't care about.
Nobody really cares. Yeah.
Don't like you know the funny thing about growing and building is the fact that you can't skip the cringe process.
Exactly.
You can't skip it. So
Exactly.
the best thing for you to do now is to start now and accept the cringe now.
Yeah.
Yes, and I mean you're doing so well for yourself, and I really just want you to speak on confidence one more time.
Okay.
What is at what point in your life and in your journey as a creator, as a young person building, as somebody who wants to better for her life, what is that point that have you ever gotten to that point where you look at the mirror, look at yourself and just say, maybe this thing is not for me really, or the comments, bad comments, and all of that? Yeah, have you ever gotten to that point?
Okay. I actually conquered it before I started content.
Oh, so you conquered it? Oh,
before I
okay.
started content. Before now, I used to be very timid and shy. Basically because of my look. Yes, that's what I would tell people. Basically because of my looks. I actually studied mass communication. But if I don't tell you I studied this course, you will not know. Because around my peers, my classmates, I don't feel, how best will I put this now? I don't feel accepted among people. Exactly, that acceptance. I've never felt accepted among people. People don't seem to associate with me back then based on maybe my looks, or because there are people like us that from afar you want to judge us as people that are not smart, maybe because of our look. You get? Maybe especially when it has to do with your CGPA in school, you're not doing well academically. They don't know the struggles you go through.
You're underneath.
Underneath, exactly. Everybody just wants to see you as, I don't know how best to describe this, but for me, I feel like there was a time in my life where I didn't really felt acceptance. People were not accepting me for who I am. They didn't really see that thing in me. I used to say something. I had like few classmates. I don't think they are up to like 2 or 3. That's forever. I respect them because these people actually see me for who I am. They respected me even when nobody was seeing. There are people that will meet you now like this. There are things, like they see you as a successful person. There are certain things they say about you that you yourself don't see or don't believe it at that moment. But they see you as somebody that has this potential of becoming great, you get.
Yeah.
So I had like few persons in my corners then who were actually motivating me. And I think that was what even pushed the confidence. Yeah.
Okay. So going back to acceptance, I mean, I feel like we're having great conversation already, and we're going to have more great conversations. But let's talk about acceptance, because I mean, these are the things that happens with almost with them. I think it happens with almost every person, because yours might not be looks, might be your financial situation or something. But I feel like in one way or the other, we still struggle with these things.
True.
And I'm so glad I'm having this conversation with you, because I mean, we're having a great conversation, and I feel like this is really going to be impactful, right? So for you, at what point in your life, I just want you to just give us a backstory.
Okay.
can you go back to any time in your life where somebody said something about your looks that really broke you from, and if this comments came from somebody that really maybe was close to you, maybe a family member or something. Have you ever gotten to that point where somebody who close to you said something that really hurt you?
Okay, this actually happened in my workplace where I was working. I've had experiences in school, but the one that actually broke me was when I was working in, I think, a pharmacy. Yeah, or supermarket there, but it was a pharmacy. Okay, I was working as a sales rep then, and I was barely a month in that work, but I already knew few things because of what they taught me, and based on my what's it called experience with attending with customers, I was getting to know things.
Yeah.
So that very month that I got the job, they recruited some staff, and our manager back then asked me to teach them something. So I was actually teaching them, and it was like I was making impact, and they loved the way I was teaching them. I also felt good because of the comments that were coming from that same people I was teaching at that time. But I just saw, I don't want to mention her name. So she just came from like nowhere,
Yeah.
and she was like, what does Chubi knows that she's teaching someone else? You know, like I felt so embarrassed because she's saying this in the presence of someone I was teaching at that time. And I almost, like, I cried, actually cried that day. Because for me, this is like killing your confidence.
Yeah,
I couldn't face those people to continue what I was teaching them anymore. Because for her, she felt like, I don't know what I am teaching them. What do I actually know that I'm teaching them? You get, let's say, when I started content now, she came back and she was like, Chubi, I want you to teach me something. And then I felt like this is actually a payback time for me.
Okay.
Yes, I felt like it's a payback time for me. I didn't respond to her. I gave her somebody's number that she should speak with the person, that she cannot speak to me directly.
Yes.
Because I just wanted her to feel it, you get.
Yes.
I wanted her to feel that heat. She needed that knowledge at that time, but I didn't want to give it to her because of what she did.
Because I mean, why would you say something to me and you're back, asking me to teach you something? Why? I would not teach you. And I think that sometimes people just deserve that. People really deserve that. And I think that when it comes to confidence and acceptance, right? Most times it comes from our childhood, our upbringing, and sometimes it just really affect and reflect in our lives. Because imagine growing up maybe in a household where they really no send you like that, So how did that happen for you? Just tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, mine happened in the children's department. I used to sing. I think we had a pastor that used to take us to photo studio, what's it called, music studio, to sing. And most times I would hear like my mates, like the children back then, saying I sing like someone who is crying. So it made me felt timid.
Yeah.
There are times I will not want to sing around them. You get, because these people are trying to make me feel like, oh, what you are doing is not enough. And then my pastor was on the other hand saying he loves the way I sing. You get, at some points in my life, I felt like I can't listen to my voice notes. I can't speak and hear myself talk because I feel, I don't know, is it cringe now? I feel like it's somehow to me because this is what people have actually said about me. I didn't really think of what I say, but what people actually said. So it broke me as a little child. Until when I was growing, people said, like, I grew up and people started saying they love the way I speak, and I think it brought back that confidence. Yeah.
So when it comes to being the other person in the room, because I always say this, that most times what makes the difference for people and for your dreams and your vision is being the other person in the room.
True.
And sometimes that can be uncomfortable. That can be unconventional.
Exactly.
Maybe it's not something people are used to. People are not used to seeing people that sound like you, look like you, talk like you, and so they want to criticize it. Not because you are really bad in the way they want to make it sound, right? So for you, what was the turning point in realizing that I may not look like every other person, I may not sound like every other person, but I am me?
Okay, for me, I felt like the turning point for me was like the people I surrounded myself with. Yes, I don't usually do crowds. I don't know how to associate with people. Okay, communicating with someone depends on the level of comfortability I have with that person. You get. So I saw that if 2 or 3 persons can actually listen to me and accept me the way I am, that means I am good. So I felt it's like within. that these two people, like, they are enough for me. I don't really need the crowd to applaud me.
Yeah.
I just need these two people to tell me that I am good. Yeah.
Now, talking about you, we've been having this conversation. I've heard you say, people say this to me, people do this to me. In all of this conversation and all of these times, because one thing that's helped me as a person is really are the tough questions I've asked myself, are the things I've said to myself, because I have my moment as well, right?
Yeah.
So for you, what do you think has been the most important question you have asked yourself about your looks and who you are?
Okay, the most important questions I've asked myself is, why do I think I'm in this situation? Why me? I feel like for me, it was more like I have something in me that people are not seeing. There's something in me that is actually fighting the circumstances, the struggle and all. And this thing can just, I don't want to mention this word, die down, okay?
Yeah.
If I don't believe in myself, if I don't trust in myself. So there are times where I speak to myself that, Chubi, you can do this. In the midst of the struggles, in like the midst of the circumstances and everything, there are times where I still pick myself up. Where I will not see those 2 or 3 persons sharing me up. I'll still pick myself up and say, Chubi, you can actually do this.
Yes, that's beautiful. Now, talking about what you said is beautiful. I'm trying to take that in, because when you said that, most times you know that if I didn't have anything in me, why why do I have this urge to do something? It's very beautiful, but most times you have something in you that doesn't just allow you stop. You don't know how, you don't know why, but you shall know that you're not a regular person.
Yes,
you shall know that if anything I put my hand to do will prosper. Looks or no looks,
exactly.
And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about dreaming, about a vision, about a goal, is the fact that
exactly.
even if everyone cannot see, but you know. I think
like from within.
You just know. You just cannot doubt it. You may doubt the circumstances surrounding it, but you cannot doubt that you have something. What is that thing you have inside of you that I don't know, that will take over the world very soon?
Okay.
I like that you smiled.
Okay, that thing I have in me that makes me know that, how best do I say this? I feel it's more like...
You don't have to be humble. You don't have to be humble.
Yeah,
that thing, that
exactly.
tsunami inside of your body telling you that, I'm not a regular person. I will get this thing done.
I don't know how best to put this right now. But I feel it's... I don't know. I don't know how best to put this right now. But for me, I feel like it's just how different I am.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I came from a family, let's say from my own family now.
Yes.
I came from a family where I didn't really had much. I didn't have people I could look up to. Especially when it has to do with education. I came from a family where they didn't go to school. They don't really value education. But I said to myself that, Chubi, you will be the first graduate in your family.
And you were?
Yes.
Check me.
So for me, I feel like there is only one person that can stop me, and it's me.
Period.
I don't need my parents. There are times where your parents will actually say some stuff to you that you feel like, is this actually coming from my mother?
Yeah.
Is this actually coming from my father? Even your friends, people surrounding you. But there's just what's the only thing that will make you skate through in all of this is yourself. If you can tell yourself that I can do this, I think that's the way you can conquer the world.
Yes.
For me, that's what I see. Yeah.
I mean, when you said that, one of the things that helped you is the fact that you realize that I'm different, and I think that is something that is it. That's a conversation.
Yeah.
I am different, and that's how it changed the world. And I think that there is nothing that I've heard recently that is more profound. Really, that's such a beautiful thing to say. And when we talk about representation, when you said that you grew up in a family where you didn't quite see the representation of what a successful person looks like in every sphere, and when you grow up in that kind of a family or that kind of a background, or you have that kind of a childhood where you don't particularly have someone to look up to, it's a constant struggle. And most people don't understand it, especially people who are up there again, because it's a different conversation when you are building, starting from one. Some people are building from nothing.
True.
Nothing. Like when they say nothing, not in fact, I'm even giving people that are supposed to give me, right? How do you what would you say to anybody who is building from nothing? And not the social media, not because sometimes you go on social media and it goes like, oh, I had 200k in my account. I had 100k in my account and all of that. How does it feel, first of all, building without a blueprint? That's the question. How does it feel building without a blueprint? And how does it feel when people see you out there feeling like you are, just the way you said it, you are timid and you don't know what you are doing, when really you are trying to fight the fact that you are a first generation of somebody breaking a barrier and breaking, courses and breaking things? How does it feel? What's that chaos happening? How does that feel for you?
Okay, I would say there is no perfect time to do something. Just start with what you have, where you are. Like, just start. I think that's like the perfect word to say. Like, can you like rewind?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get back like the question.
Yes. So the other question is, how do you build when you grew up in a society or in a family, or you have a childhood where there is no representation. It's different. It's a different thing when maybe you want to be a banker, your mom is a banker, or your mom is something, your dad is something. But how do you build when you are building from nothing?
I get the question now. So what I would say to someone who is building now, like maybe they don't have a role model they could look up to, or someone that has done something like related to what they are doing now, is I feel like the best thing to do is, number one, believe in yourself. Surround yourself with people who believe in you. Okay? And also, I feel no matter what I want to say, no matter like the discussion, the conclusion we want to have in this whole discussion is always believe in God. Trust the process. Yes. For me, from the scratch, like from the beginning, it's God holding my hands. And even if I don't have people in my family I could look up to, there are other persons I see that they actually started from where I am today. That didn't had these things, you understand? Yeah. So for me, I see it like someone like what was it called? Helen Paul. Helen Paul is one of the persons that motivated me from the beginning. She's not my family member. She's not related with me. But I saw that this person has similar experience background with me. And I saw that if this person can go this far, that means there is no obstacle that is going to stop me.
Yeah, speaking of celebrities, I saw that Tunde had not posted you. How did you feel?
I felt
what was your first thoughts?
Yeah, I felt that people are beginning to see my works. You get, they're beginning to see what I'm putting out there. I have followers on other platforms except Instagram, and I felt that am I not doing enough? There are certain times I'll want to post and I'll forget that I won't have Instagram. Okay, until he posted me, and I felt that okay, people were now going back to my previous posts and I saw what I was doing, and I said okay, let me pick it up from there.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a very beautiful conversation, and really you are such an inspiring person, not just with what you say but who you are. And I just want to ask, what is that one comment that you've had on social media that really broke your heart? Because social media people, especially TikTok, can be really crazy, and you are very, very present on TikTok. What is that one comment that somebody said to you on TikTok that that really broke your heart?
I would say I don't go through comment section.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah,
I do.
I don't see comments. Your post most times is determined by, like, let's say I make a post now. The first 20 persons that will comment on your post will determine how the comment section will end.
Oh, really?
If I say that these first 20 persons that are commenting now are bullying me, I will not go to that comment section. There are times that I will off my notification for my own mental health. So I don't go through comment section. I have a post on TikTok that is over, I think, 2-point-something million views, that I don't even read the comments because it's toxic for me. So I don't go through comments. But what I have actually faced in recent times is like people criticizing my cooking. Yeah. I've had people say you don't know how to cook. Stop posting your rubbish food you are cooking on social media. Some persons were about my teeth until I got my braces, and that whole teeth stuff, like, it stopped.
It stopped.
Yeah.
I mean, TikTok is really a crazy. It's a wild
Exactly.
place, and it really, in as much as it's a great platform for people to associate and all of that. But it's a crazy place, and I think you are really doing a great job by not reading comments. I would read comments, but
I don't read.
if it's getting to me, I just turn it off, and it's really crazy. It's been a very beautiful conversation with you, and I just have fire questions to ask you. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Now, what would you say is the best part of being you?
Okay. The best part of being me is the fact that I don't have to look perfect. I just I feel good. There's nothing you cannot see me now and take a video or picture of me and post it on social media. I'm not faking it. Whatever you see me posting is like my reality.
Yeah.
So I'm not scared of dragging and all of that from people because of having different what's it called now? Yes, exactly.
Okay. Next question. For girls or people, general people, anyone who has been that person who is always the different person in the room, different with the way you look, speak, act, your childhood, your background, just anything. What would you say to that person who has been feeling like, oh, I don't belong here because of who I am? What is that thing you would tell them using you as a blueprint?
Okay, I have someone who used to tell me that, Shubi, wherever you are, just know that you were destined to be there. There's just a reason you need to be there. Sometimes you feel like you don't belong here. It's okay for you to move from there. It's not actually a bad idea, but don't have this negative mindset that, hi, I don't know how best to put this right now. I don't know how best to put this right now. But if there is a need for you to move from that place,
to find you.
Yes, to find you, exactly. That's the word. It's better for you to move. I was actually staying in my family's house, but at some points I felt like I can do better elsewhere. It's not like I didn't abandon my family or something, but I felt that I already saw is that I could do better elsewhere. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that was the major reason I moved.
Yeah.
So if someone is in my shoes who actually feels different, maybe because of the way they look or something, I feel the best advice I can give to that person is, if there is a need for you to move. Yeah.
Move from the criticism, move from
Exactly.
wherever.
Yeah.
And I think that's really beautiful. And for me, I just think that for people, everyone in the world, right? Some people may be more, vocal than the other people, but I think that in one way or the other, we are different from each other. And I think that is our superpower.
True.
Yes, because imagine that we are all the same. It would be so boring.
Exactly.
Yeah, and most times when people say you are different, you look different, you're not fine enough, you're not smart enough, you're not this and that enough, I think it's largely them projecting their
fears on you. Yeah, exactly.
They're just projecting who they are on you.
Yes.
And we really should be careful.
Sure.
And I think that is also a situation or a case where we are losing our individuality.
Yeah.
Because if we all look the same way, there is no difference, and it's only the differences in us that makes the difference in the world, if that makes sense. And for you, I am really such a big fan of your work, of the person you are, and the fact that you don't just put out content, but you show how important it is for one to document their growth process.
Exactly.
And for young people, I just want to say, when it comes to growth, our paths are different.
Exactly.
Yeah, our paths are different. How we will arrive there is very different. But the most important thing is that we are on track. So when you see people, or when you feel different, or you feel like, the other person in the room, I think that's a superpower. I think that is a superpower, and I think you should embrace it. Mummy Chubi, it's been a very beautiful conversation with you here.
Thank you
And
so
even though I
much.
want this conversation to go on, but, we gotta go.
Yeah.
So, what is one thing you want to say to people out there who may not have the best of, backgrounds, the best of life, but they are really willing to build it up? What would you say to them in this era of social media, perfecting or making everything look perfect and nice and clean, and there is nobody having any issue? And there's people like you who are saying, we are putting one-on-one together. We are starting from scratch to up. We are going from bottom to top. What would you say to those kind of people?
Okay, I just have like two words to say, which is be you. Be you. Don't fake it. People will love you for who you are. It might not look like it from the beginning, but people will definitely love you
Yeah.
for who you are.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that that's such a beautiful thing. And I think that it's no news that I wanted to say, oh, you're going to do great and all of that, but you already know that, right? You already know that. And when that moment comes, and I think it's already here, I just want you to know that I celebrate you, and like you're somebody who I feel like the world is going to be in awe of in
Thank
recent time,
you.
and I'm really really grateful you came to my show
Thank
today.
you.
And bye, guys. Until next time, it's been a very beautiful moment with me and the very gorgeous Mommy Chubi. And we have been talking about building growth and starting from scratch. And of course, we also talk about, the other person in the room and how, important it is for you to be different. So if you are that person who has been feeling like, oh, I don't belong, oh, I did it, she said that your superpower as somebody who is the different person in the room is that you are different. And I think that that's beautiful. So until next time, guys.